have to change the settings to make it seem interesting. I am, however, going to change the speed. So, and I have to remember that I'm playing on the stick, playing on a Game Gear game. Sorry, I'm playing on original hardware, of course. Hey, you can say the Game Gear. So, yep, exit. Sorry, I didn't know if it did it. So we're going to start on 3, 2, 1. And we get to choose our power up. I'm going to choose the Delta form. I'm going to press start instead of pressing button 1 because it is like all other Aleste games. I'm a curiously cautious caterpillar and I want to become a burly brute of a butterfly. And because of that, then I'll have to complete all of the Aleste tropes, and they are all present. So I have my little Peepog and I have my P-pills here, which are going to increase my power ever so slightly. So you'll be able to see them in the same spaces thanks to the wonderful work of them too, and making sure that people understand all of the systems into that. And to solve my complaints from the earlier game, then the bullets have changed colour. The bullets have changed colour from a red to a rather neon green. Which will make it a little bit easier, but you'll be able to see that even early on, even though we're playing on the default difficulty, there are a lot more bullets to contend with. Now, in order to make this a little bit more manageable, there are a couple of additions in terms of the system, which hopefully if I'll be able to destroy this person, come on, thank you, that will be able to go on to. But there are more uses for the P-pills than just increasing my power. You'll be able to see them if you're wanting to be very quick on the left-hand side, as I wage war against the most deadly enemies of all, boxes. I've successfully destroyed all of the boxes, therefore humanity should be saved once again. But I think in terms of story-wise, as we deal with this Cthulhu spaceship, unfortunately, the spaceship has been taken over by a giant space octopus, and we have to defeat the 3 different forms of it. So there is a lot less flashing lights, there is a lot more flickering, and if you're sensitive to that, then please look away, because it's not going to get any better. We're going to carry on into space. So there are 2 different forms there of what I'm collecting my P-pills for. The firstly is the round field generator, that is space lingo for my shield. And if I'm able to collect all of those and not do that, and this is going to be my favourite weapon, the Rising Smasher. It's not going to be as defensive, I'm not going to be able to block the bullets, but I should be able to deal with the enemies quickly, and therefore not give them the opportunity to shoot. Now I just need to stay in the centre for this one. Look at the girders in space. So this came out in 1993, and you can definitely see the progress that's been made, not just mechanically, but in terms of presentation as well. This is a 2-button game, so I've got my shield active, I've got a little blue nose, and the second one is my G-Strike. So I'll be able to get a G-Strike extended in what looks to be about 5 P-pills, so not quite at the end of this, but going along, and that is because this is now a 2-button game. I have a second button, that is a bomb. And I'll be able to use that in a little bit because I do not like this first boss. And I've just got hit. No, that is very stupid of me, and that is probably why I'm not playing this on Special. Or Mania, as it's called. But it's okay, I've got save states if everything's going wrong. And there we go. Right, so we are taking... Actually, no, this is before Dodonpachi, but is it before Donpachi? Anyway, we're going into a ship and we're warping to the next stage. That's all we really need to know. Into the ground base. So every single one has names instead of just round 1, round 2. And this is very good because, yes, this was the only one that was released outside of Japan. This was released in Europe for some reason, and because of that it was named Power Strike, which was the name given to the original Aleste on the Master System, and also would receive its own... Oh, sorry, it came out in Brazil as well, as was the tradition at the time of releasing everything Master System and Game Gear into Brazil. But because of that, there are 2 versions of this. I've seen this once in my life in a retro shop in Paris where it cost €200. So I thought, no, I'll give M2 my money instead. Now, one of the nice things is, even though I made a horrible mistake in getting shot by a stray bullet, is that the P-pills kind of stack. So I do not have to wait. Oh, there we go. So I now have my my shield back. And I'm going to kill all of those horrible, horrible boxes. Oh, the untold horrors that they've done as we deal with a little... You know, I always equate this to the Battle of Endor on Star Wars, except I'm obviously the evil one here. And they're just... the Rebel Alliance is just trying to escape, and yeah. Here I am with my lone ship, my prototype ship, the last hope of humanity, and I am destroying all of them. Ha ha ha, especially the Ewoks. I should be able to stay in front of it. Yes, there are missiles. So that should be relatively simple. Now we're going to come into a little bit. So flickering was brought in to manage a bit the frame rate. So this does actually run quite well on the original Game Gear, except for a certain moment. It's not like GG Aleste 1. But because of that, it does have enforced flickering. So even though we have reduced slowdown, because it seemingly was hard-coded, then after this wave here, I may have been too early there, or at least when we get into the clearing, we should get a little bit of enforced flickering, but you can see it anyway when too many sprites go on the stage. Yes, here we go here. It's not exactly very comfortable, despite it being called comfort mode. And is this the boss? No, this is not the boss. This is just... chat, if you want to figure out who this is, I don't really know, and I'm actually quite scared. Whew. So I'm going to take out my frustration with these boxes that's for some reason just holding random bullets. This is the boss. Now, if I was to do this as a traditional speed run, the speed strat here is basically killing yourself. Now, considering... Oh, that was very quick. Because you'll get an extra bomb when you die. And that becomes a strategy. But unfortunately, I'm doing this live, and I have no confidence in my abilities, so we're not going to do that. Now we come to the bonus stage, and I've removed the noise gate on my... right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to count. I don't know why. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can hear the taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But graphically, it's quite nice. Now, it's not going to be as plentiful as the last game in terms of the bonus points, but also 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So the points are not going to be plentiful, but there is a greater... you know, this is not a free-for-all in terms of the extra lives that are being thrown my way. It's not every 100,000 points. It is a lot more. So now we come into Bionic City, and this is when I think that these stage names were just created by a focus group thinking, you know what is a cool name in the 90s? You know what, cyberpunk is kind of the thing now. We're going to do hackers, hack the planet, blah blah blah. Let's call things Bionic. Doesn't Keanu Reeves have that cyberpunk film out? Who knows? So as a result, we are going through this Bionic City. I've been hit, but it's okay because I've been stacking up the P-pills. So my next P-pill, after I kill all of these evil boxes, should give me should be enough to... Come on. Thank you. Should be enough to reactivate my shield, and I'll be able to keep on building for that. This is a mechanic that I wish made its way into a future game. If there was a future game, I don't know. How do I know? And you know what? Since CPS is here, CPS was playing Gradius, various Gradius games. I don't like Gradius. I can appreciate it for what it was, and it was obviously revolutionary for the time, but faces shooting at you in shoot-em-ups scares me. And it's all because of Gradius. It has scarred me for life. And this stage is all about random faces looking at me and shooting directly at me while I have to dodge everything else. But, of course, it takes immense skill to do Gradius, and certainly if there are replay functionalities out there, you should give it a watch. And it wasn't just Gradius, it was Salamander, and it was Gradius 2 and something else. I just don't like talking about the faces, so I'll talk about literally anything else. Like this thing, which looks like one of my science projects that I just kind of put together. And it's getting the best of me. But it's okay, because that goes away slowly but surely. to be replaced with more faces. What is bionic about this? Please, game, please. But we have a bunch of crystals on the background, and for some reason, giant mechs, not Gundams. We're not legally allowed to say Gundams, are sprouting from the ground. Whee! Oh. So remember at the start of GG Aleste when I said I really wasn't prepared for this? I hope that's becoming clear now as we deal with all of these missiles, and you think that this would herald the end of the stage, but no, it's in fact only the halfway stage. So there are less stages here, but obviously in terms of the scope that they were going for, it's more visually appealing, and it plays, especially with the slowdown off, more like a traditional shmup, what you were expecting of the time. Now there is a little bit of a history in terms of Compile. Compile, before they started making only Puyo Puyo games, were one of the most famous console shoot-em-up developers, and they would go on after the death of or rather after they left Compile because they didn't want to make Puyo Puyo, they would go on to form some companies that made some cracking games like Battle Garega. But that is potentially for another time, and I'm kind of spoiling future runs here as we are going back to our Dodonpachi ship. I've run out of tea, so I'm going to drink some water. Stage is clear. Where are we going, Commander? Ancient Ruins, and this is a good comparison point with the desert stage of GG Aleste 1. You can see how much graphical prowess is here, even though it's an 8-bit system. Although you can possibly see some repetition, and I certainly get the impression that I feel a little bit lost the amount of times that I see the same head over and over again. It's like one of those films where you're just lost in the woods. But you can't be, because it seems like you're just going in a straight line. How on earth am I getting lost in a straight line? And how advanced was this Egyptian-like civilization? We will never find out, because yes, there is a story, but the story does not touch that much. This is not really lots of lore that has ended. But we're going to speed up now. Somehow enemies were lurking deep beneath the sand. I feel sorry for them. How long they would have been buried there within the pyramids. So many pyramids. But we're going to come very shortly to our very first mini-boss. One of the mini-bosses that is absolutely terrifying when you think about it. It is a snake skeleton where its skull is split in half, and every time it splits, it fires at you. Think about it. And it's done, but every time I always think those balls are going to kill me, but I'm always surprised when it's just for a visual flare. So now we just go back around in a circle, and I get hit. I get hit. There are obviously a lot of bullets here, so I should really... I believe somebody said in the chat earlier that this is all about the napalm, and certainly, while sometimes I do think I should have taken the napalm, and I will take the napalm very quickly, I prefer speed. This is still officially a speedrun marathon, but we're coming to the boss. Now, I like to make my games seem popular by associating them with other games. So this one, I always think of Dr. Robotnik. I think it's Chemical Zone and Metropolis Zone in Sonic 2, where he has the rings, and you have to take the rings off, but it's okay, because once you take them off, he's going to have them again, and you're going to have to repeat the thing over and over again. So please, if you want to sing the song in your head, you can. I certainly am right now, but alas, did I pick up the napalm? There we go. So it takes a couple of seconds in order for that to change. I need the napalm. So the napalm functions the same as the other games, and you can see that all of those bullets are being spewed out. I'm not going to stay right in front of them because it's not exact. Those are being taken away, so I'm able to... I don't know what, I have a bomb, don't I? I always forget I have a bomb. But I need to make sure I have one bomb left because, yes, I need it for the beginning of the next stage. I need to remember that. I may have done very little preparation because I got my hands on a copy of Resident Evil 4, but need to remember the fundamentals. Hurry up and die! Ooh. Would you look at that? So, alright, yeah, another bonus stage. So this is learning to count with my new name, Egg Quail Tortilla. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the only one. that I need to smash the buttons for. I didn't count for that, and that's why I failed. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You always need to count. If you don't count, then yes. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I press 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's done. I'm pretty sure there is a bonus if I get 100%, but I've never in my entire existence got 100%. But it doesn't really matter because I'm in a good place. And we're entering Cyber Road. And again, you think, buzzwords. What's popular in 1993? Oh yeah, bomb. Because I don't like the way that he does that, and I'll do another one because I don't like that one either. I absolutely hate that boss. It's right at the beginning, and usually it does terrible things. So, this is when I'm going to keep hold of the napalm, because what is more cyber than floating eyeballs appearing out of nowhere and shooting bullets at you? Oh, and we have also those gooey things that somehow I dodged. So this is where the napalm comes into play, and this is where I'm probably going to stick with it for the entirety of this run, because a lot of the bosses are now going to do like that little Dr. Robotnik fellow and spew out bullets. But there was a story. This is set like 30 years after GG Aleste 1, and in order to have a response, they built a giant satellite, and wouldn't you know what happened to the satellite? It turned evil. So here we go, up into space, through the space tunnel, killing the boxes, the ever-evil boxes. Oh, the untold crimes against humanity that they've done. And then we're going to take care and bop the evil space satellite right in the nose. We're going to boop it. We're going to boop it out of existence. Now, oh, yep. No, it wants me to take the rising laser, but no, I'm not. I'm cleverer than that. Or rather, I've played this game too much. As you can see from the bottom left-hand side of my battle achievement, which is actually kind of false, because if I die at this point, then I just reset. So here we go, just wild beat communication. There is hidden underneath that, within the satellite, someone decided to build a Gundam, and off he goes. So we're going to play a bit of boxing, a bit of shadow boxing, rope-a-dope. Float like a butterfly, sing it like a bee, and... Whoa. Right, one done. One done. Come on. There we go. We rocked them and we socked them. So this is why I get the napalm. It's very nice, but the game is offering me napalm anyway. So again, it's going to be like the Cthulhu ship, the octopus taking over ship from the first stage. There are going to be components for this. So we've got to take care of one side, take care of the other. And now we deal with this white light, which is going to be a homing attack. So we're just going to do a little bit of a circle. But obviously it's a little bit complicated with these bullets. So I need to just pay a little bit of attention. That's why I've got a very serious look at my face. And we are done! We're almost at 1,000,000 points, but unfortunately we're not given 10 extra lives. I think that's very terrible. I think Compile should go back and make this game. And certainly if I'm going to go back in time, I would suggest that. The final stage, Inter Algo. The satellite's name was Algo, or rather ALG-42 or something like that. This is the final stage, and like final stages should do, it's going to throw everything at me, and this is why I am probably going to die. Because... No. There we go. Right, no, do I not have enough for... Oh no, I need one more P-pill for my shield to be reactivated, which is very unfortunate because I've got this guy here that again looks like one of the science experiments where I just play with plasticine and go, yep, this is an appliance from the future. Okay. The second half of the stage it should be. You'd think that these things in the background would hurt you, but yeah, it's just very nice background tiles that look visually impressive. But I've just probably... Unfortunately, I'm a bit screwed with that, but I should have enough lives, and there should be enough P-pills to hopefully... No, I'm not going to take the defense ring. Now, there is a degree of rank in this game, so it's going to determine one of the attacks. So what I want to do is, it's going to do a licky attack. And that only works if you have not died. And am I too much there? Nope. So if I've not died, then I'm able to stay on that left-hand side for that second attack. If I have died, then that becomes not an option. So I just need to make sure that I just keep taking care of this eyeball. And not do that because that was silly, but alas, I'm going to use the bomb. Oh no, it still keeps going. And this is where all my lives are going to be lost, but it's okay because this is what they created bomb spam for. Right, we increase the power, and there is a super secret final boss. No, it's not super secret, it just comes after. There we go, I'm going to boop him on the nose, but he hasn't got a nose. That's unfortunate. So he has some attacks. Because of this, I kept the napalm. 1, 2, 3. And we go off to the side. 1, 2, 3. And we go off to the side. 1, 2, 3. Come on, come on. There we go. And that is time. Oh, what was the estimate on that? 25 minutes. Oh, I'm such a great speedrunner. And this is when I'm realising that it's about 10 seconds behind the stream. So there we go, that was GG Aleste 2 on normal, relatively comfortably done. We have another cutscene showing the prowess of the Game Gear, but certainly 1993. Yes, weirdly enough, this will be the final Aleste game released by, developed by Compile. The series just ended there, one of the greatest shoot 'em up series that no one ever knew about because it was rarely released outside of Japan with the same name. So that is the end of me, Egg Quail Tortilla, presenting GG Aleste. There were absolutely no more, and obviously I'd like to take this opportunity to wish best of luck for whoever does come next. I'm sure it's going to be a difficult one to follow. Unfortunately, I've not got the schedule up in front of me. Yes, her name was Alice Weisen, again another orphan, but not quite. Probably with another grandfather that hated her and wanted to send her off onto another suicide mission in her Mary Sue prototype ship. So, thank you very much everybody. For the RGL people, you can cut me off and put it for the intermission for whatever poor soul has to come next. Thank you very much, everybody.